Good evening, everybody, and welcome in to Cavalier Field, Game 37 of the season. Game 36 of the season for the Dodge City A's. We welcome in all of our viewers listening back in Liberal on 1270 KSCB. We welcome you in for this game as well. The Liberal BeeJays and Dodge City A's set for action here this evening, the final RMBL contest between these two teams. Let's take a look at our starting lineups. Leading off for the Liberal BeeJays, it is the shortstop, number 3, Matt Bernath. Batting second, the third baseman, number 20, Drew Grego. Batting third, number 24, Justin Hudson, the right fielder. Batting for number 39, Carson Willis is the designated hitter. Batting fifth, the first baseman, number 26, Drew Garcia. Batting seventh, the second baseman, number 17, Larry Olivares. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 29, David Garcia. And rounding out the lineup is the left fielder, number 4, J.T. Cox. That is the starting lineup for the Liberal BeeJays. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Dodge City A's. Leading off, it is the center fielder, number 15, Jacoby Radcliffe. Batting second, the shortstop, number 19, Kane Carlos. Batting third, the right fielder, number 16, Isaiah Velasco. Batting in cleanup, the third baseman, number 27, Matt Perez. Batting fifth, the first baseman, number 23, Jaden Marino. Batting sixth, the left fielder, number 13, Paxton Huff. Batting DH in the 7-hole, it is number 10, Ryan Buckley. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 34, Kevin Hammond. And rounding out the lineup for the Dodge City A's, it is the second baseman, Edwin Silverio. Amari McGowan is getting the start on the mound tonight for the Dodge City A's. We'll tell you about the entire lineup and starting pitcher for the Liberal BeeJays. When we come back, we are getting ready for the national anthem here at Cavalier Field. We'll take a step aside as it is time for the national anthem. We'll be back in 2 minutes. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Welcome back in to Cavalier Field. A few technical difficulties to get the game started here. We're almost underway as we are finishing up with the national anthem. As we get set for the final game of the season between the Dodge City A's and the Liberal BeeJays. We've talked about the starting lineup. So it is Amari McGowan that is getting the start on the mound tonight for the Dodge City A's. He is set to face off against a Liberal BeeJays lineup that has been potent throughout the year. It's definitely given the A's some problems. We'll get to some of his numbers as we get going here. So the A's and BeeJays. The A's, they are 17 and 18 on the season after they fell to the BeeJays last night. Of course, the A's and BeeJays, they will return to action tomorrow night. The A's return back to Liberal. They will play in a non-league contest tomorrow night to finish up the 8-game series slated between the A's and BeeJays. The A's, they have one final game of the season. They will play against the Hayes Larks, a RMBL game. Now batting for the Liberal BeeJays, number 3, Matt Bernath. So Matt Bernath leading off for the Liberal BeeJays. Bernath, the shortstop, freshman from Point Loma Nazarene, and we are set. First pitch fired in. For a strike. Bernath fouls that one off. Oh, 0-2 pitch. It's a high fly ball. It's headed out into center field. Radcliffe there to haul that one down and quickly one away for the Liberal BeeJays. That'll bring up number 20, Drew Grego. Grego, the freshman from the University of Nebraska. He's on with a double. Now batting for the BeeJays, number 24, Justin Hudson. So that brings up Justin Hudson. Hudson from the Queen's University of Charlotte. He'll fly out into center field. That is the second out of the inning. So that brings in Carson Willis. Willis from the University of Arkansas. And a flying bat that goes flying over towards the A's dugout. He's down in the count 0-1. Never heard it called that, but our friends over here to the left doing the announcing tonight calls it the walk of shame. I like it. I like it. Down in the count 0-1 is Willis. Murray delivers a ball outside, and he evens a count at 1. Willis fouls that pitch off. One ball and 2 strikes account to Willis. Grego on at second for the Liberal BeeJays, and the A's would definitely like to hold the BeeJays scoreless here. The pitch, it'll miss inside from McGowan. Willis fouls off another pitch. Count remains at 2-2. Willis, he'll foul off another one. That was the 6th pitch of the at-bat for Willis. Willis, the cleanup hitter tonight for the Liberal BeeJays, and the A's trying to get something going here after they dropped the game last night. At one point, the A's, they were down 9-1 early in the ball game. Pitch called strike, and we'll come back to that conversation after this. We'll take a step aside. We're headed to the bottom of the first. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Welcome back into Cavalier Field. Jacoby Radcliffe, he's leading off for the Dodge City A's. Nothing as we're headed in to the bottom of the first. Radcliffe, the junior from Southern University, has been a staple in the A's lineup. He's been up and down throughout the lineup, though. Has been in the top, has been more in the bottom at times, though. It's good to have some speed in the bottom of the lineup. He'll take a first pitch ball from the starting pitcher, Isaiah Cavalier. He'll foul that one. It goes straight down. It evens a count at 1. So a 1-1 count to Radcliffe. We'll go back to work. Cavalier from Highland Community College in Davis, Illinois. Macalier. Thank you for helping. Getting some help from far away, making sure that we get things done. Radcliffe grounds that one. It goes foul out into the BeeJays bullpen area. 2-2 the count. Two-two pitch for Macalier. He'll miss high and outside, and the count runs full. So we'll see a payoff pitch coming here. Macalier, he works from the first base side of the rubber, and he'll come set. Wind blowing out of the south here at Cavalier Field. The payoff pitch. Radcliffe is going to send it foul to the left and out of play. So we'll do it over again. The pitch comes set and will deliver. Radcliffe sends it past the outstretched arm of the first baseman. It'll roll out into right field. The A's, they have their leadoff aboard. That'll bring up Kane Carlos for the Dodge City A's. Kane, freshman from Eastern Arizona College. Carlos ahead in the count 1-0. He'll foul that one. It goes up the left field line. It evens the count at 1. The BeeJays tonight, they went with their red subliminated top. So it's a red top up high, fading into a gray down low. They have their numerals on the back in their baby blue, powder blue, outlined in white. The A's, they go with the whites. Radcliffe steals over to second. Count 2 balls and 1 strike to Carlos. The A's in their whites. It has the A's logo on the front. Their numbers in the back. Numbers are in yellow, outlined in their green. Green and yellow stripes on the sleeves for the Dodge City A's. So we'll go back to work. Well, Macalier is going to step off. Carlos fouls that pitch off. Evens the count at 2 to Kane Carlos. He's another player that has been up and down throughout the lineup. Actually spent some time on the mound last night for the Dodge City A's against the BeeJays. The 2-2 delivery coming up. Macalier still looking in. He's got his sign and comes set. Takes a look back at second. There goes Radcliffe. The pitch is low. It bounces on home plate. Radcliffe in safely. Another stolen base. And the count runs full. So back-to-back batters have worked the count full against these Liberal BeeJays. Runner on third, and Carlos will foul that one off. Count remains full. Was the sixth pitch of the at-bat to Kane Carlos. See what McElhier has here. A's are playing in their final home game of the season. So their last time here at Cavalier Field. The BeeJays, they'll return home tomorrow, face these Dodge City A's in a non-league contest. That will be the final game of the season for the BeeJays. The pitch was wild. It goes to the backstop. It is ball 4, and Radcliffe scores as it rolled all the way to the backstop. The A's, they have an early 1-0 lead. So that'll bring up Isaiah Velasco. Velasco was a graduate this year. He played at Post University. Takes a first pitch strike for McElhier, and he falls down in the count early, 0-1. Look over at first to check on Carlos. A throw over to first. Quick, but not in time. Yay set. Gets Isaiah to swing and miss, and he'll fall down in the count 0-2. Throw over to first again, not in time. Well, the BeeJays, they're learning. The A's, they like to steal, and they'll steal early and steal often. 0-2 delivery is high, gets Garcia up out of his stance, and it is ball 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count to Velasco. It was a warm day here in southwest Kansas. My vehicle showed 101 when I pulled into the parking lot here at Cavalier Field. Velasco's going to go down on strikes, and that is the first out of the inning for the Dodge City A's. Brings up the cleanup hitter, Matt Perez. Perez takes a first pitch strike from McElhier. Perez, he was a redshirt freshman this year at Florida A&M University. Of course, one of several players that followed head coach Jeremiah McCollum here. Pitch is wild. It bounces ahead of home plate, and Carlos, he starts to round second, but he'll retreat back. The catcher Garcia corrals the ball over right in front of the BeeJays dugout. There's a fair amount of foul territory here, especially between the lines and the dugouts. So 1-1 the count to Perez. McElhier is step off the mound and wants to get a new set of signs. He's got what he wants. He takes a long look back at Carlos at second. Delivers, it misses outside into the opposite batter's box, and Perez is ahead in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. Wind blowing out of the south here at Cavalier Field. It's a significant thing for those of you that follow along. Perez makes contact. It's a high fly ball. Will stay in the ballpark and is pulled down by the left fielder, and that is the second out of the inning. Carlos will stay at second, and that brings up Jaden Marino for the Dodge City A's. Marino, the senior, comes from Prairie View A&M University. He joins left fielder Paxton Huff that also comes from Prairie View A&M. The pitch down low for ball number 1 to Marino. The A's, they've already clinched the second place spot in the Rocky Mountain League. The Hazarks, they had first place well wrapped up and already had the automatic bid to the NBC after winning the NBC last year. The A's, with the second place spot, have guaranteed themselves a trip to the NBC. They will start their trip in the NBC on Thursday evening. They have an 8:30 game slated. They will start against the Seattle Studs. 1-1 pitch. It's grounded to the first baseman, and that'll do it for the bottom of the first. We're headed to the top of the second. We'll be back after this. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Welcome back in to Cavalier Field. Drew Garcia set to lead off for the Liberal BeeJays. Garcia, the freshman from Blinn Junior College, face off against Amari McGowan, who is back out for his second inning of work. McGowan delivers a ball high to Garcia, works himself ahead in the count 1-0. Garcia makes contact. It's cut off by the second baseman, Silverio. Throw to first in time. A diving stop by Silverio to get Garcia out and one away for the Liberal BeeJays. So that'll bring up Jack Ryan. Ryan, he was a thorn in the A's side last night. Jack Ryan, the freshman from Point Loma Nazarene. McGowan, he works from the first base side of the rubber, yanks the first pitch outside for ball number 1. Ryan makes contact, sends it foul. It's over to the third base's coaching box. Coach bobbles it, but comes up with it. So that evens the count at 1 to Ryan. McGowan misses low with that one, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. 3-1 the count. McGowan comes set. He'll deliver the 3-1 pitch. It swung. It was a high ball. Would have been ball 4, but swung on and missed. Pitch is fouled. It gets a piece of Hammond. He's feeling it. He's laying on the ground. He'll get up. Give credit, the catchers, and I've watched all the games this year. Not just the A's catchers, but catchers throughout the league. They've been beat up. They do a lot of work behind home plate, and you got to give credit where credit's due. Catchers, they've done an excellent job this year at trying to keep balls under control and blocking wild pitches. Give credit to Hammond. He wore that one, and it wasn't comfortable. The count runs full. Payoff pitch coming from McGowan as he comes set. On away for the BeeJays. Pitch is popped up. It'll go foul and out of play. Hammond takes his mask off. He's going to walk around a little bit, still feeling that last one. 7th pitch of the at-bat coming to Ryan. McGowan delivers. Ryan makes contact. It's popped up. Tracked on the infield, and Silverio ranges to his left. He'll pull it down on the infield turf for out number 2.
Now batting for Liberal, number 17, Larry Olivares.
So that brings up Larry Olivares. Olivares, freshman from Odessa Community College. Gown delivers a first pitch strike that fastball catches the outer edge of the zone and has Olivares down in the count 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Gown delivers, and it's a well-struck ball, grounded out into right field. So the BeeJays, they have a runner aboard. It's their second hit of the ball game. The BeeJays lead the A's 2-1 in hits right now. So Oliveira's on at first. That brings up the catcher, David Garcia. David Garcia, the catcher, a senior from OPSU. Pitch sent out into left field. Back-to-back singles, and the BeeJays have runners on at first and second now. So that'll bring up JT Cox at the bottom of the order for the Liberal BeeJays. The BeeJays are going to send out a courtesy runner.
BeeJays, number 4, JT Cox.
Cox, the freshman from San Joaquin Delta. He makes contact, sends it to the third baseman, Perez. They make the throw across the diamond, and that'll do it. That is the third out of the inning, and that will send us to the bottom of the second. The A's, they'll have Huff, Buckley, and Hammond due up when we return. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Welcome back in to Cavalier Field. The A's and BeeJays. Cavalier returns to the mound for the BeeJays. He's out for his second inning of work. Paxton Huff set to lead off as Cavalier about to finish his warm-up pitches between innings. Something that the A's are going to have to get used to. A pitch clock as they will get ready to enter the NBC World Series. BeeJays are no strangers to the NBC. They've been there several years. Were champions back in 2000 and 2010.
Now batting for your Dodge City A's, number 13.
So that'll bring up Paxton Huff as he's set to lead off in the bottom of the second for the Dodge City A's. Huff, the junior from Prairie View A&M University. Swung on and missed, and Huff down in the count 0-1. Cox, Ryan Hudson, left to right in the outfield for the Liberal BeeJays. Grego Bernath, Olivares, and Drew Garcia, third to first across the infield. David Garcia, the catcher. Isaiah McEllier, the pitcher, to finish the battery for the BeeJays here tonight. The 0-2 pitch, it misses outside. That makes it 1 ball and 2 strikes for Huff. Paxton Huff, the left fielder, the 6-hole hitter tonight for the Dodge City A's. McEllier misses low and evens a count at 2. Saw a couple of home run balls last night at Brent Gould Field. The wind blowing out of the south, it can happen here at Cavalier as well, especially on a day like today. 330 down both lines looks kind of inviting at times for hitters. At 348 power alley, both left and right, tends to be a popular target as well. The pitch misses low, and Huff draws the walk. The A's have their leadoff aboard again, and that'll bring up Ryan Buckley. He's a designated hitter tonight for the Dodge City A's. So with 1 on and nobody out, Buckley steps up. He's in the transfer portal. Buckley was a redshirt sophomore at Lake Erie College. I haven't heard anything as to where he plans to transfer to, but had entered the transfer portal after some coaching changes occurred at Lake Erie this year. Takes a first pitch ball from McEllier. Currently 94, feels like 100 degrees here in Dodge City. Huff takes off, and he'll be in easily at second. Buckley ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. So the A's, they have a runner in scoring position with nobody out. The 2-0 pitch. McEllier looking in. He's got his sign. He'll come set. He takes a look back at second to check on Huff. Comes home and misses outside and low. It's 3 balls and no strikes to Ryan Buckley. Counts 3-1. Pitch misses high, and back-to-back walks has runners on first and second for the Dodge City A's. Brings up Kevin Hammond. He's a catcher tonight. Hammond, the redshirt freshman, comes from Lipscomb University. First pitch, Hammond has to duck out of the way. It's high and well inside. Works 1 ball and no strikes. Hammond makes contact. It's a fly ball, but pulled down easily by Ryan out in center field, tagging up his Huff, and he'll be in safely at third. So that'll put runners on the corners with 1 away. Buckley remains at first, and that brings up Edwin Silverio. Silverio, a sophomore, is committed, will be going to Ave Maria University this fall. Took the spring off this past season after having moved from Rhode Island to Orlando, Florida. So he steps on with 1 out. Runners on the corners for the Dodge City A's, and Akoye throws over to first, but not in time. BeeJays bringing their middle infield in a little bit. Playing more even with the second base bag. Well, now their shortstop's going to back up. One-0 count to Silverio. Silverio grounds it through. It's on the left side, rolling out into left field. An RBI single for Silverio, and the A's have scored again. They lead it 2-0 over the Liberal BeeJays. So that puts runners on first and second for the A's.
Now batting number 15, Radcliffe.
So that'll return us back to the top of the order with Jacoby Radcliffe. Radcliffe, he takes a first pitch ball. Radcliffe sends a fly ball out into right field. Hudson there to pull it down, and that'll advance the runner over to third. So Buckley tags up and goes to third. Runners on the corners with 2 away. So that brings up Kane Carlos. Carlos, he drew the walk his first time up. Runners on the corners and 2 away. The A's, they've scored in both half innings. 2 runs on 2 hits so far for the Dodge City A's. No runs on 3 hits for the Liberal BeeJays as McElhinney misses low and a little outside. Carlos ahead in the count 1-0. Carlos ahead in the count 2-0 now. Few high clouds starting to filter in from the north. There was a chance of severe thunderstorms up in northwest and north central Kansas. Not supposed to get anything here as Carlos fouls the pitch off. Remains ahead in the count 2-1. Two-one pitch. Runners on the corners. Akoye set, delivers. It's a pitch inside, and the count moves to 3-1. It's 4:04 to dead red center here at Cavalier Field, and that's also where the flagpole is, the American flag indicating winds out of the south. Pitch called strike. and it runs the count full. Silverio steals over to second on the pitch, and that puts both runners in scoring position for the Dodge City A's with 2 away. We're going to see another payoff pitch here. Carlos pops that one up. It's playable. Being tracked by the left fielder Cox, and he'll pull it down in left center field, and that'll do it. The A's, they stray in 2. They score 1 run. We're headed to the top of the 3rd. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Welcome back into Cavalier Field. The A's, they have a 2-run lead over the Liberal BeeJays as we enter the top of the 3rd inning. The BeeJays, they have the top of the order due up now. Matt Bernath, Drew Grego, and Justin Hudson set to come to the plate here in the top of the 3rd. Amari McGowan, he's back on the mound for the Dodge City A's. He has a 1-2 record overall this season. Matt Bernath leading off. He flew out his first time up. He'll take a ball outside from McGowan and works himself ahead in the count. 1 ball and no strikes. McGowan, he's making his 8th appearance for the Dodge City A's. Count now 1-1 after the pitch was called strike. It caught enough of the outer edge of the zone, and the 1-1 pitch coming up from McGowan. As his sign and come set. The pitch misses high. Fastball left high. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. McGowan last pitched against the Denver Cougars. Bernath grounds that one. It goes past the diving attempt of Matt Perez at third, and the BeeJays, they have their leadoff aboard. So Bernath on at first for the Liberal BeeJays, and that brings up Drew Grego. Grego, he doubled his last time up. The defensive alignment for the Dodge City A's: Huff, Radcliffe, and Velasco left to right in the outfield. Perez, Carlos, Silverio, and Marino third to first across the infield. Kevin Hammond got the start behind the plate. Amari McGowan on the mound completes the battery for the Dodge City A's. He delivers a strike to Drew Grego and gets him down in the count 0-1. McGowan, the throw over to first, not in time. Amari McGowan last pitched against the Denver Cougars back on July the 12th. He went 7 innings in that ball game, allowing 3 runs. He has a 10.00 ERA overall on the season. The throw down to second, not in time. So Bernath successfully stealing. The throw was there, but I guess just not making the tag. Count 1-1. McGowan pitched against the Liberal BeeJays. That game back on July the 10th. He went 1 inning in that one as Grego sends that one up the middle. Runners on the corners for the BeeJays with nobody out. So that'll bring up Justin Hudson. He flew out his last time up as the BeeJays are working their second trip through the batting order. Runner goes. Grego in safely at second. Pitch was called strike to Hudson. The BeeJays are returning the favor of steal early and steal often. They have both runners in scoring position now. Bernath at third, Grego at second. Hudson behind in the count now, 0-1. A 1 delivery. McGowan misses outside. He evens the count at 1. The A's and BeeJays are familiar foes. No, there's a different team almost year to year. The A's and BeeJays, they've been in the Rocky Mountain League together for 4 years now. We're in the KCLB for a couple of years after the dissolution of the former Jayhawk League. They spent several years together in that one along with the Hayes Larks. Pitch, 2 balls and 1 strike. Pitch coming up from McGowan. It is popped high up the elevator chute. It's going to stay on the field. Perez tracking it, and he holds on to it at the end of the A's dugout for the first out of the inning. So that'll bring up Carson Willis. He went down looking the last time he was at the plate. Went away with runners on second and third. BeeJays trying to get on the board. They were held scoreless in the first 2 innings. No runs on 5 hits so far for the Liberal BeeJays as Willis takes a fastball that catches the outside of the zone for strike number 1. Willis down in the count 0-2 after he comes up on empty on the offering from McGowan. The 0-2 pitch swung on and missed. That is the second out of the inning, and Willis goes down on strikes for the second time in the ball game. That'll bring up Drew Garcia as the first baseman for the Liberal BeeJays. Right-hander steps in to the batter's box. He grounded out his first time up. It's a 4-3 ground out. The A's and BeeJays, they started their season. The first game, the A's made the trip for opening night in Liberal, and they would fall to Liberal 3-2 in that contest. Hard to think that that's been a month and a half ago already, a little over a month and a half now. Garcia ahead in the count 1-0. Take a pitch inside again and moves ahead 2 balls and no strikes. The A's had a 2-1 lead going into the bottom of the 8th inning, and the BeeJays, they would score 2 to win that game 3-2. To start the season series, a pitch home, bounces ahead of home plate, gets away from Hammond, and that scores a run. The BeeJays are on the board. They trail 2-1. Grego advances to third on the play, and Garcia's ahead in the count, 3 balls and no strikes. No work in either bullpen right now. The pitch in and catches the inner part of the zone and makes it 3-1. Pitch is high and inside, and that puts runners on the corners as Garcia draws the walk. 2 on and 2 away for the BeeJays to bring up Jack Ryan. Ryan, he's 0 for 1. He flew out his last time up. Ryan was a 6-hole hitter last night. 2 runs on 2 hits, had 3 RBIs, and walked once. He's ahead in the count 1-0. McGowan misses outside. Moves Ryan ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. The A's, they come into tonight's contest 17-18 overall on the season. They had a 13-10 overall record in the Rocky Mountain League. Ryan fouls that one off. It goes back and out of play. Makes it 2-1. The Hayes Larks, 18-14 overall in Rocky Mountain play. The A's, they were 13-10. The Liberal BeeJays come in at 11-13. Ryan sends a rocket out into left field, but it goes foul, and that evens the count at 2. It's Deuces Wild across the top of the scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out here in the top of the 3rd inning. BeeJays trailing 2-1. They have runners on the corners. Grego at third, Garcia at first. The 2-2 pitch from McGowan. Ryan checks his swing. They say he does not go around, and the count will run full. Payoff pitch coming from McGowan. Steps back on the rubber and looking in. Shakes off a couple. He has his sign and comes set. The payoff pitch. The runner goes at first. It's called strike 3, and that'll end the top of the 3rd. A's lead at 2-1. They'll have Velasco, Perez, and Moreno due up when we come back for the bottom of the 3rd. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. McEllier back on the mound for the Liberal BeeJays. He's out for his third inning of work, and that brings up Isaiah Velasco to lead off for the Dodge City A's. Velasco, he went down on strikes his first time up. So the A's have Velasco, Perez, and Moreno due up here in the third. A's lead at 2-1, although they've been out hit by the BeeJays 5-2. McEllier with 50 pitches already in the ball game. Velasco pops one. It's sky high. It's headed out towards right field. Tracking it is Hudson. He'll pull it down. And the first out of the inning. That ball was skied, as they would say, and it is pulled down. Out number one for the Dodge City A's. Perez steps in. He is 0 for 1. Flew out his last time up. Delivers a ball to Perez. McEllier with 4 innings pitched coming in to today's contest. Perez ahead in the count now, 3 balls and no strikes. Made 2 appearances already for the Liberal BeeJays. Has no win-loss record, though. Perez sends one. It's out into left field. It'll fall foul. It just missed the foul line. Makes the count 3-1 to Perez. McEllier has given up 6 hits and 2 runs in those 4 innings pitched. Has walked 1 but struck out none. Has a 4.500 ERA. As Perez, he'll draw the leadoff walk, and not the leadoff walk actually. Perez draws the walk. The A's have 1 on and 1 away for Jaden Moreno. Moreno, he grounded out his last time up. Throw over to first, not in time.
They're rolling already. Don't you worry. They'll all be in the parade on Saturday too, so we got some big boys. You'll see them.
Pitch inside, gets away from the catcher Garcia. It moves Perez over to second. Moreno ahead in the count now, 1-0. McEllier at 57 pitches. Takes a look back at second to check on Perez. Delivers home. It's hit on the ground out into right field. Perez rounds third. The throw home. Not in time, and so they'll throw back to second. The pitch is dropped, and that puts Moreno on at second. Give him credit for an RBI single, advancing on the throw. So that brings up Paxton Huff. The A's have now scored in every half inning. They lead at 3-1. Huff, he walked on his last time up. First pitch he sees from McEllier misses low. Both bullpens are empty currently. The pitch misses low again, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Well, we thank everybody listening along back in Liberal on 1270 KSCB. Thank you for tuning in today to listen to the Liberal A's or Liberal BeeJays and Dodge City A's. Huff takes a called strike. Makes it 2 balls and 1 strike. Pitch. Swung on and missed. Huff even in the count at 2. Cavalier just misses the outside edge, and they're stirring it down towards the BeeJays bullpen. Payoff pitch from McElhier. He takes a look back at second to check on Moreno. Delivers home. It's grounded on the left side out into left field, and that'll put runners on the corners for the A's. So that brings up the designated hitter, Ryan Buckley. Buckley, he drew the walk his last time up, and BeeJays are going to start getting a pitcher going. Cavalier now at 64 pitches in the ball game. Runners on the corners with 1 away. Buckley takes a pitch high. It is ball 1. BeeJays have Ryan shaded towards left field, about 10 feet. Pitch in for a strike to Buckley, and Huff steals over to second. He's in safely with a stolen base. Runners on second and third for the Dodge City A's with 1 away. 1-1 count to Buckley. That pitch is fouled off. Gets Buckley down in the count 1-2 now. Ryan had the night off last night. He's primarily been DH for the Dodge City A's. Pitch misses low and evens a count at 2. Moreno at third, Huff at second. 2-2 delivery for McElhier. It's low and into the opposite batter's box. Blocked by Garcia as it rolls back towards the pitching mound. Count runs full. So another payoff pitch coming. See if McElhier can win this battle here. The payoff pitch, he's got his sign, he comes set. Kicks and fires in, it misses high, and that loads the bases. Well, bases loaded for the Dodge City A's, and that brings up Kevin Hammond and also prompts a mound visit from the BeeJays pitching staff. So they're going to take the walk out. Let's go ahead and take this opportunity. We want to thank our Grand Slam sponsors, the City of Dodge City and Ford County, the Community Foundation of Southwest Kansas, Lewis Automotive Group, and Curbs Law Office, LLC. We thank you for your sponsorship and support of Dodge City A's baseball. Well, the A's are getting ready to make their first appearance in the NBC World Series. They got the league's automatic bid, securing the second place finish in the Rocky Mountain League. They're making their first appearance since 2019. So the A's will open their NBC play. They start in pool play Thursday evening. They'll face off against the Seattle Studs. That game currently set for an 8:30 p.m. start. Of course, all games in the NBC will be broadcast on YouTube, and you can always follow along on Game Changer to catch the current stats. So that mound visit is over, and we'll go back to work. It's Kevin Hammond at the plate for the Dodge City A's. Hammond, he flew out his last time up. The A's have bases loaded. The pitch is low and gets away from Garcia. Puts Hammond ahead in the count 1-0. So it's Jaden Moreno at third, Paxton Huff at second, Ryan Buckley at first. The A's, they had bases loaded multiple times in last night's ball game. They had bases loaded in the first 2 innings and left them loaded. Pitch was fouled off by Hammond, and it evens a count at 1. So a 1-1 pitch coming up from McElhinney. Delivers home. It's low. Golf swing, a line drive back at the shortstop. Bernath makes the throw over to second, and that will do it as a double off Huff. So the A's, they work the bases loaded and get nothing out of that one, and we're headed to the top of the 4th. The BeeJays, they will have Olivares, Garcia, and Cox due up when we return. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Welcome back into Cavalier Field, 3-1 Dodge City A's over the Liberal BeeJays. Larry Olivares set to lead off for the BeeJays here in the top of the 4th inning. Olivares, he singled his last time up. Amari McGowan back on the mound for the Dodge City A's. He's out for his 4th inning of work. Delivers a ball as he yanks it inside. McGowan, 18 innings pitched on the season coming into tonight. So his longest outing, a 7-inning outing against the Denver Cougars. Before that, it was 3 1/3 against the Colorado Rough Riders. Olivares sends that one foul and evens a count at 1. Olivares sent that one foul out into the third base bullpen. The A's in the third base dugout, the BeeJays in the first base. Pitch grounded foul on the right side. Olivares will fall down in the count 1-2. Much like Brent Gould Field, the third base dugout means that the players have their backs shaded. The dugout providing shade from the sun, especially on these early evening games here in the summer. One of the warmest days that the A's have played on. The pitch was fouled off again by Olivares, and the count remains 1-2. Of course, the first base dugout, especially now as the sun begins a process of setting to the west, sun becoming a factor for those guys in the first base dugout as McGowan misses low, and the count evens itself at 2. Cavalier Field faces from south to north. It's not on an angle like Brent Gould is. 2-2 pitch coming from McGowan. Oliveira sends it out into center field, and taking a step to his right is Radcliffe. He'll pull it down, the first out of the inning. So that brings up David Garcia. Garcia singled his last time up. McGowan delivers the first pitch. It's a fastball, catches the inner part of the zone, and it gets Garcia down in the count 0-1. A's, they lead the BeeJays 3-1 here in the top of the fourth. McGowan misses on the pitch, and it evens the count at 1. Cavalier, much like Brent Gould, is also shared with the community college. So like Brent Gould at Liberal shared with Seward County, Cavalier here in Dodge City is shared with the Conquistadors of Dodge City Community College. 2 balls and 1 strike the count. The pitch misses low, and it's 3-1 to Garcia. Also heard Cavalier set to get new turf. Should be a nice upgrade for Cavalier Field as pitch is sent foul. Moreno runs into the fence. It falls foul. A new lease on life for Garcia. The count runs full. So we'll have a payoff pitch here from McGowan. Lights on here at Cavalier Field. The A's, they've scored in every half inning. The BeeJays, they scored 1 in the top of the third. They trail 3-1 to the Dodge City A's. The payoff pitch, called strike 3 on the inner part of the zone, and Garcia flips his bat. He thought it might have been ball 4, but it was called strike 3, and that brings up JT Cox at the bottom of the order for the Liberal BeeJays. Cox, he's 0 for 1 in the ball game. He grounded out his last time up. McGowan delivers the first pitch. It's swung on and missed. Has Cox down in the count 0-1. Cox grounds it to Silverio at second. The throw to first in time. The BeeJays go down 1-2-3 in the top of the fourth. We'll come back with the bottom of the fourth. It is 9-1-2 due up for the A's when we come back. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. So Bryce Haynes goes to the mound for the Liberal BeeJays as the night for McElhinney is done. We're headed to the bottom of the fourth. The A's, they have a 3-1 lead over the Liberal BeeJays. So that'll be Edwin Silverio, who is set to lead off for the Dodge City A's. Silverio at the bottom of the order. He singled his last time up. So the new pitcher on the mound, Bryce Haynes, freshman from Golden West Community College.
Now hitting for the Liberal BeeJays, number 32, Bryce Haynes.
He's set to lead off against Edwin Silverio. The A's a 3-1 lead. They've scored in every half inning so far. Just one run in each inning. So Silverio set to face off against Haynes, who is taking over the mound for McElhinney. Haynes, a new addition to a newer addition to the BeeJays roster, has pitched one inning so far. Evens a count at 1 to Silverio. Silverio fouls the pitch off. Falls down in the count 1-2. Haynes, he has an 18 ERA. He's allowed 2 runs on 1 hit in that 1 inning of work. The 1-2 pitch, Haynes misses low and outside, and that evens the count at 2. The 2-2 pitch. Both bullpens are empty right now. Silverio fouls that one back into the net. The count will remain 2 balls and 2 strikes. The BeeJays, they have out-hit the A's 5-4. Both teams have stranded 5 runners so far in the ball game. 2-2 again. Haynes waving a couple off. He has his sign now. Holding glove high in front of his face. Delivers low, and the count runs full. So he'll take a step off the back of the mound, uses a rosin bag. I said earlier, it's a warm night here in Dodge City. It was 94, felt like 100. So we'll see the payoff pitch here. Haynes comes set and delivers. Called strike 3, and the A's have their first out of the inning. Silverio is caught looking, and it returns us to the top of the order with Jacoby Radcliffe. Radcliffe, he's 1 for 2 in the ball game. He flew out to right field his last time up. Radcliffe, he's batting .248 on the season for the A's. He steps in as the A's are starting their 3rd trip through the batting order. Nobody on and one away. Radcliffe starts to show butt and pulls back. Takes it for ball number 1. Pitches in for a strike. Haynes catches the inner part of the zone, and it evens the count at 1. So tomorrow's game, the A's go back to Liberal. It will be a non-league contest. It's actually a makeup from earlier in the season when the BeeJays had had some rain and their field was not playable. Pitch was in for strike number 2. Down on the count, 1-2. Haynes works, throws in, it's low and inside. It evens a count at 2. So the A's, they had a makeup game from earlier in the season, an early game in the year that was rained out. They're making up another one tomorrow when the BeeJays had a rain out. Count runs full to Radcliffe. The payoff pitch. Haynes, he works from the third base side of the rubber. Delivers in, it's low, and ball 4. So a runner on for the Dodge City A's, and that brings up Kane Carlos, the shortstop for the Dodge City A's. Carlos is 0 for 1. He flew out his last time up. Carlos batting .247 on the season. Garcia takes the opportunities, throws his sunglasses over to the BeeJays dugout as sun beginning the process of setting here in Dodge City. Of course, the high clouds that are filtering in from the north, making a little darker a little earlier here in Dodge City. 1 on and 1 away for the A's. Haynes took a look back at first. There goes Radcliffe. The pitch low. Garcia couldn't hold on to it. Radcliffe in safely at second with the stolen base and a 1-0 count to Kane Carlos. The final selections for the NBC will be made tomorrow. Final schedule being announced. There's one more at-large bid awaiting somebody. .1-0 pitch. This is low and inside, and Radcliffe steals over to second. Or third, rather, sorry. So back-to-back stolen bases, and the A's have another run just 90 feet away. A 2-0 pitch. Misses low. It bounces at home plate, and Carlos is ahead in the count. 3 balls and no strikes. Garcia, he's going to go out and have a conversation with Haynes. Want to make sure that they are on the same page, that they know the call sequence. This visit's over. We're going to go back to work. Kane steps back in to the batter's box. Works from the back side of the batter's box, closest to the catcher's box. The 3-0 pitch from Haynes. It's delivered outside, and it is ball 4. Carlos draws the 4-pitch walk. That puts runners on the corners for the Dodge City A's and brings up Isaiah Velasco. Velasco, he's been a catcher mostly. It was a returner to the Dodge City A's this year. Did mostly catching last year, has spent more time in the outfield this year. So when you think of a catcher, you don't really think of someone with the speed of Velasco, but he's got it and he can run the bases. Velasco, he's 0 for 2. He flew out his last time up. Runners on the corners with one away. Haynes misses outside on the first pitch. Velasco moves ahead, 1 ball and no strikes. One 0 pitch. Carlos goes. It's in for a strike. The throw down to second. Almost there. They took a look over at third to see if they could maybe pick off Radcliffe. Count even at 1 to Velasco. Isaiah Velasco, he's climbed to the batting average. He's up to .314 on the season. One delivery. Velasco fouls it off and falls down in the count 1-2. One 2 pitch. Haynes delivers, and it's high, and evens the count at 2. We've worked our way into the bottom of the 4th here at Cavalier Field. The A's, they lead at 3-1. There's 2 runners on and 1 out. Radcliffe at third, Carlos at second for the A's. The pitch misses. Oh, no, it doesn't. It's called strike 3. Velasco didn't like it. The second out of the inning, and that brings up Matt Perez. Perez 0 for 1. He walked on his last time up. Steps on with 2 on and 2 away. Perez, he was a regular in the Florida A&M lineup this past season. He takes a first pitch ball outside and is ahead in the count 1-0. Perez, he's batting .318 on the season. Takes a pitch high again and is ahead 2 balls and no strikes. A good crowd on hand here at Cavalier Field for the final home game of the season. Radcliffe starts to head down the line, acts like he might try to steal home. Pitches in and called strike, makes the count 2-1. Perez sends that one foul. It goes back and out of play. It evens the count, so it's deuces wild across the top of the scoreboard. BeeJays have their infield back. Pitch misses low and outside, and the count runs full. Third batter this inning that the count has worked itself full, and we'll see the payoff pitch from Haynes. Perez sends it. It's a high fly ball. It looks like it's going to stay in the ballpark. Backing up a few steps and pulling it down just ahead of the warning track. JT Cox pulls that one down for out number 3. BeeJays will have the top of the order due up when we return. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Welcome back in to Cavalier Field as the BeeJays, they have the top of the order due up. Amari McGowan, he returns to the mound for the Dodge City A's. He's back out for his 5th inning of work. So Matt Burnett set to lead off for the Liberal BeeJays. He takes a first pitch ball. Burnett, he's batting .318 on the season. Pitch inside, and Burnett ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Burnett, 1 for 2 in the ball game. He singled his last time up. Pitch from McGowan, he'll miss outside, and 3 straight out of the zone has Burnett ahead 3-0. Delivery. McGowan on the first base side of the rubber. Delivers home, and it's a called strike. .3-1 pitch. McGowan misses just a little bit high, and Burnett draws the leadoff walk. One on and nobody out for the BeeJays, and that brings up Drew Grego. Grego, he's 2 for 2, a double and a single so far in the ball game. Grego, he was voted MVP in the game last night for the season by the Liberal BeeJays. A throw to first, not in time. Grego, he's batting .250 on the season. First pitch to Grego is high. It hit him, and that puts runners on first and second with nobody out. Nobody in either bullpen currently. That'll bring up Justin Hudson. Hudson, he's 0 for 2. Flew out the last time he was up. Catcher Hammond goes out. He wants to have a quick conversation with McGowan. Hudson batting .392 on the season. So we'll go back to work after the mound visit's over between McGowan and Hammond. First pitch, called strike. Has Hudson down in the count 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. McGowan takes a look back at second. He delivers outside. It gets away from Hammond, and that'll put runners on the corners. Runners on the corners for Hudson. Nobody out here in the top of the 5th inning. BeeJays trailing at 3-1. Pitch is grounded foul over towards the A's dugout. That gets Hudson down in the count 1-2. One-two pitch from McGowan. Takes a long look over at third, delivers home. It's high and inside to Hudson and evens a count at 2. Two-two pitch. Gown looking in to get his sign. Has what he wants. He'll come set. Grego getting a lead off of first. Hudson pops that one. It will go foul and out of play. The count remains 2-2. I'll send some kids scrambling to go to try and shag that foul ball. They can take balls back to the concession stand here at Cavalier and get $1. 2-2 pitch. Gown comes home, and it's called strike 3. Hudson goes down looking, and that'll bring up Carson Willis. So now 2 on and 1 away for Carson Willis. Willis went down swinging his last time up. He struck out both times he's been at the plate so far tonight. He's batting .326 on the season for the BeeJays and takes a pitch low for ball number 1. Bernath over at third. He gets a lead off. Willis grounds it to the third baseman, Perez. He'll throw to first in time for the out. The BeeJays score a run, the RBI ground out for Willis, and they're within 1. The BeeJays trail at 3-2. That brings up Drew Garcia. Garcia, he's 0 for 1. Drew the walk his last time up, and Hammond's going to go out and have another conversation with McGowan. Might have been some miscommunication that had happened. So we'll go back to work. Garcia, he's batting .233 on the season. Runner at second for the BeeJays. The pitch misses low and outside. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Grego's over at second for the BeeJays. The A's do have a pitcher now down in the bullpen. It's Ryan Pinio. Gown delivers a strike and evens the count at 1. One pitch. Gown delivers. It's a little bit low, and Garcia's ahead in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, we want to send a thank you back to Liberal for all the fans listening along on 1270 KSCB. We thank you for listening in tonight here in Dodge City. Pitch grounded to Perez. He'll take it off the hop, throw to first, picked by Moreno, and that will do it for the top of the 5th. We're headed to the bottom of the 5th. The A's will have the middle of the order due up. 5, 6, and 7 when we come back. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Bryce Haynes returns to the mound for the Liberal BeeJays. We've entered the bottom of the fifth. The A's have Moreno, Huff, and Buckley due up this half inning. A's they lead at 3-2. Scored in the first 3 innings. The BeeJays one in the third and one in the fifth. Jaden Moreno is set to lead off for the Dodge City A's. He singled his last time up. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. The A's are clinging to a 1-run lead. Moreno batting .316 on the season. Bryce Haynes, he took over in the last half inning for the BeeJays. Pitch misses outside, and it's ball 1 to Moreno. Moreno sends a high fly ball, but foul and out of play. It evens a count at 1. It went to the right. So he's even in the count now at 1. Pitch misses low. Haynes falls behind in the count, 2-1 to Moreno. He's already at 31 pitches in the ball game after taking over in relief of the starter Cavalier. 2-1 delivery coming up. A throw home misses outside, and Moreno's ahead 3 balls and 1 strike. Haynes delivers again. It's outside, and the A's, they have their leadoff aboard as Moreno draws the 5-pitch walk. That'll bring up Paxton Huff. Huff, 1 for 1. He singled his last time up. He drew the walk before that. Huff, the 6-hole hitter, the left fielder for the Dodge City A's. He's batting .203 on the season. Haynes takes a look over at first to check on Moreno. BeeJays are definitely cognizant of the fact the A's like to run. The pitch low. It gets away from Garcia, but not enough to allow advancement. There's just ball 1. BeeJays have drawn their third baseman in. Grego playing to the right of the third base cutout. About a step behind the infield green turf. Pitch in for a strike. It evens a count at 1. BeeJays have brought their middle field in a couple of steps as well. 1-1 pitch from Haynes. Huff will swing and come up empty, and he's down in the count 1-2. Moreno gets his lead off of first. 1-2 delivery from Haynes. Called strike 3, and that'll send Huff back to the dugout. First out of the inning for the Dodge City A's, and that brings up Ryan Buckley. Buckley yet to record an official at bat in the ball game as he's walked on both times he has been up. Buckley, he's batting .235 on the season. First pitch to Buckley. It's in for a strike, and they throw out Moreno trying to steal at second. Down in the count, 0-1 is Buckley. Pitch misses outside, and it's actually 2 balls and no strikes. So 2-0 to Buckley. Two balls and one strike, the count. Haynes delivers. Buckley swings and misses, and it evens a count at 2. Two-two delivery. Haynes looking in. He's got his glove high ahead of his face. Delivers in. It's yanked into the opposite batter's box. The count runs full. BeeJays have a pitcher down in the bullpen. Both teams do. The payoff pitch from Haynes. Sent foul back and out of play, and we'll do it over again. Pitch from Haynes. He's got his sign and come set. Delivers in. It's called strike 3, and that'll end the inning. We're headed to the top of the 6th. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Jack Ryan set to lead off for the Liberal BeeJays. Sorry about that delay. Yays are making a change. Isaiah Velasco, he moves from right field to catcher. Blake Coleman going out into right field. He will hit in the 8-hole for Kevin Hammond. So the BeeJays, they have Jack Ryan, Larry Olivares, and David Garcia due up in this inning. Amari McGowan back on the mound for the A's, and he delivers a ball to Jack. He's 0 for 2 in the ball game. Got caught looking his last time up. Pitch is an unintentional fouled off. When I say unintentional, it hit the bat that was still on his shoulders. It evens a count at 1. Ryan, he's batting .291 on the season. 1-1 delivery. Ryan will foul it back and falls down in the count 1-2. 1-2. Misses inside to Ryan, and it evens a count. Other than the first game of the season, this is one of the lower scoring games that the Dodge City A's and Liberal BeeJays have had. Of course, there's still 4 innings to be played. Count runs full. Payoff pitch coming from McGowan as he looks in. Comes set. The A's with their infield back, and Ryan will go down swinging for the first out of the inning. That brings up the second baseman, Olivares.
Now batting number 17, Larry Olivares.
Olivares, he's batting .316 on the season. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. Flew out to center field his last time up. Ryan Pino in the bullpen for the Dodge City A's. Olivares takes a strike. It's down in the count, 0-1. Called strike again that catches the outer half of the zone. Olivares is down 0-2. Delivery from McGowan. Grounded to the second baseman, Silverio. He throws to first in time. And quickly 2 away for the BeeJays. That'll bring up David Garcia. He's a catcher tonight for the BeeJays. He's at 1 for 2 in the ball game. He got caught looking his last time up. First pitch. Misses low from McGowan. Two balls and no strikes to count. We've worked our way into the top of the 6th. The A's lead at 3-2. 5 hits for the BeeJays, 4 for the Dodge City A's. Pitch misses inside, and Garcia's ahead in the count, 3 balls and no strikes. McGowan looking in, and he'll come set. A 3-0 pitch, swung on and missed. It makes it 3-1. Garcia went down looking the last time he was up. He singled in his first at bat. A 3-1 delivery. Popped up. It's up the elevator chute. It's playable. Marino tracking it just off the first base bag, and he'll pull it down. As the BeeJays, they'll go down 1-2-3, and we're headed to the bottom of the 6th. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Welcome back to Cavalier Field, and a special welcome to everybody listening along on 1270 KSCB back in Liberal, as it is the A's and BeeJays. We're headed into the bottom of the sixth inning, 8-9-1. So Blake Coleman set to get his first at bat for the Dodge City A's. So Coleman, Silverio, and Radcliffe due up here in this inning. Bryce Haynes, he returns to the mound for the Liberal BeeJays. Sorry about that. Haynes is back out for another inning of relief. So he's finishing up his warm-up pitches. Throwdown is done, and we're headed in to the bottom of the sixth. So Blake Coleman, he is set to get his first at bat tonight. He hits in the 8-hole for Kevin Hammond. So Hammond exit, and Coleman went to right field after Isaiah Velasco moved from right to catcher. Blake Coleman, a sophomore from the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, he steps up. The first pitch to Coleman misses high. Haynes, he's thrown 45 pitches in relief for the Liberal BeeJays. They do have a pitcher down in the bullpen. The 1-0 pitch high and inside, and Coleman's ahead 2-0. Two-0 pitch from Haynes. Coleman fouls it back into the netting, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Pitch to Coleman is inside. Makes it 3-1. Looks like Kyle Hawksworth is down in the bullpen for the Liberal BeeJays. A 3-1 delivery is called strike. The count runs full to Coleman. Coleman swings and comes up empty, and that will be the first out of the ball game. So that'll bring up Edwin Silverio at the bottom of the order for the Dodge City A's. Silverio got caught looking his last time up. And the way Blake Coleman, he was batting .347 on the season coming in tonight. Silverio batting .220. Takes a first pitch strike from Haynes and is down in the count 0-1. Haynes delivers. It's a fastball low, and it evens a count at 1. One pitch. Haynes misses high. So 2 balls and 1 strike to count for Silverio. Nobody on and 1 away as we've worked our way into the bottom of the 6th, and the A's, they cling to a 3-2 lead. Pitch is called strike. It evens a count at 2. Shortstop Bernath is shaded towards the third base bag, so there's a big hole right up the middle. Pitch is low and gets through the legs of the catcher Garcia, and the count runs full. Payoff pitch from Haynes. Silveria will go down on strikes, and that is the second out of the inning. It turns the lineup over to Jacoby Radcliffe. The A's are starting their fourth trip through the batting order. Radcliffe, 1 for 2 in the ball game. He drew the walk his last time up. Radcliffe, a .358 on base percentage. He sends one out towards right field. It's pulled in by Hudson, and that will end the inning. The A's, they go down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the sixth. We're headed for the top of the seventh. It's 9-1-2 for the BeeJays. Due up when we return. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Welcome to Cavalier Field as we are headed to the top of the seventh. The ketchup, hot dog, and mustard race occurred in this half inning. So we're a little bit delayed in getting going. Amari McGowan, he returns to the mound for the Dodge City A's, going out trying to tie his longest outing. So Amari McGowan, he's going out for his seventh inning of work. He's at 87 pitches in the ball game. He has a 1-2 record overall on the mound for the Dodge City A's. Pitched 18 innings coming in to tonight's contest. Got the start against the Denver Cougars. He also got the start against the Hayes Larks back on June the 30th. Went 2 2/3 in that contest. So after those warm-up pitches, we're ready to go to work in the top of the seventh. The A's, they cling to a 3-2 lead. Is JT Cox leading off for the Liberal BeeJays. They have 9-1-2. Cox, Bernath, and Grego due to come to the plate here. Cox, he's 0 for 2. He's grounded out the last 2 times he's been up. Sends a pitch to the first baseman, Moreno. He'll take it 3-U, and that is the first out of the inning. Cox, he was batting .268 on the season, and the BeeJays, they turn the lineup over to Matt Bernath as they start their fourth trip through the batting order. Bernath, he's 1 for 2. Drew the walk the last time he was up. Takes a first pitch strike from McGowan. Falls down in the count, 0-1. Bernath, a 408 on base percentage for the Liberal BeeJays. McGowan fires in. It's missing outside and evens a count at 1. One delivery. It's popped up. It's headed out towards right field. It falls behind Coleman. He never saw it. Bernath is rounding second. He's going to third. He could try to pull the inside the Parker. He's rounding third. Oh, nope. He'll be given the stop sign. So the BeeJays, they have a runner on third after Coleman just completely lost the ball. So that brings up Drew Grego. BeeJays, they have a runner on third and one away. Grego 2 for 2. He was hit by pitches last time up. A double and a single before that. Grego, a 454 on base percentage. He'll draw the hit by pitch for the second time. That puts runners on the corners. So 2 on and 1 away for the BeeJays, and that might be the end of the night for McGowan. Here comes the head coach, Jeremiah McCollum, for the Dodge City A's. No indication to the bullpen yet. This may just be a mound visit. We're going to take this opportunity to thank our home run sponsors, Cargill Meat Solutions, Lauren Dahl, I Don't Care Family Restaurant and Sports Bar, LLC, Parker Haskins Insurance Incorporated, TCBP LLC, Jimmy John's, the Victory Electric Cooperative Association Incorporated, Anfragon Financial LLC, Koch Fertilizer, Deriva Energy, Rabine Brothers, United Wireless Communications Incorporated, Dodge City Kenworth, and EDF Power Solutions. So that'll bring up Justin Hudson now. He's 0 for 3 in the ball game. He got caught looking his last time up. He steps up to the plate with Bernath at third and Grego at first, and 1 out in the inning. Hudson, a 500 on base percentage. Pitch was inside. It misses for a ball. The throw down to second, not in time. Grego now in scoring position. Actually, it was in for a strike. Oh, 0-1 delivery from McGowan. He's at 94 pitches in the ball game now. 54 have been in for strikes. Hudson sends that one out to left field. Huff pulls it down. The throw home is cut off on the infield, and that scores a run. We're tied at 3. Grego stays at second, and that brings up Carson Willis. Willis grounded out the last time he was up. He struck out the 2 times before that. Willis, 366 on base percentage. First pitch he sees catches the outer edge of the zone for strike number 1. A's have work in the bullpen. Willis down in the count, 0-2. There's 2 outs in the inning after the fly out by Justin Hudson, and Velasco blocks that one. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1-2 pitch. McGowan delivers, and it's high and evens a count at 2. It's deuces wild across the top of the scoreboard now. Two-two pitch. It's a fly ball headed out into the right center gap, and it is gone. The BeeJays get their first lead of the ball game, and they now lead it 5-3. Well, the A's were playing with fire, and they got burned. The BeeJays have scored 3 here in the 7th. They was 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 5th. So far, 3 in the 7th. They lead at 5-3 now. That brings up the first baseman, Drew Garcia. He is 0 for 2 in the ball game. Grounded out his last time up. Garcia, .392 on base percentage. Falls down in the count, 0-1. McGowan now over 100 pitches, as that was 102 that was just delivered high and inside for ball 1. So the 100th pitch of the ball game for McGowan was a home run over the right center field wall. Pitch was high and inside to Garcia. He had to scoot back, and he's ahead in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. The BeeJays have now scored 5 unanswered. The pitch is called strike to Garcia, and it evens a count at 2. The A's, they scored in the first 3 innings and have been held silent since. Pitch misses low. The count runs full. A payoff pitch from McGowan. This is going to be one of those games that the A's might look back on and be like, did we really need to send him out for the 7th inning? Garcia grounds it up the middle. It's off the glove of Carlos. So an infield single for Garcia. So that'll do it now, as here comes head coach Jeremiah McCollum, and the A's will be making the pitching change as the BeeJays have 1 on and 2 outs in the inning. A's there go to Ryan Pinio, and we'll tell you about his stats when we come back. Take a step aside. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Welcome back in at Cavalier Field as Ryan Pinio, he takes over the mound for the Dodge City A's. Pinio. Oh and 2 record on the mound for the Dodge City A's. Last made an appearance against these Liberal BeeJays. That game back on July the 10th. Went 1 inning in that ball game. Pinio has a 12.76 ERA. He's set to face off against Jack Ryan. Ryan 0 for 3 in the ball game. He's gone down on strikes the last 2 times he's been at the plate. Pinio has him down in the count 0-1. Ryan a 406 on base percentage. Golf swings that one, grounded to Perez at third. The throw to first in time, and that will be the final out of the inning. It takes just 2 pitches, and we are headed to the bottom of the 7th. It's stretch time in Dodge City. The BeeJays lead at 5-3. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Bryce Haynes returns to the mound for the Liberal BeeJays. Back out for another inning of work. The A's, they have Kane Carlos, Isaiah Velasco, and Matt Perez due up here in the bottom of the 7th. So Kane Carlos steps up. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. He drew a walk his last time up. Carlos, he has a 409 on base percentage. The A's are working their 4th trip through the batting order, and Haynes, he'll miss low and outside for ball number 1. BeeJays are playing Grego in. It's about 2 steps to the right of the third base cutout. Carlos takes ball 2. Grego's going to take a couple of steps back. Carlos pops that one up. It's high up the elevator chute, but it goes back and out of play. So that makes it 2 balls and 1 strike. 2-1 delivery coming from Haynes. Haynes, the second pitcher of the game for the Liberal BeeJays, as Carlos pops that one up. Calling everybody off is Ryan, and he'll pull it down in shallow center field for the first out of the inning. So that brings up Isaiah Velasco. He's 0 for 3 in the ball game. Velasco, he got caught looking his last time up. He struck out twice. Once swinging and once looking. Velasco, 440 on base percentage. Takes a pitch outside from Haynes, who is now at 62 pitches in the ball game. BeeJays continue working the bullpen. I think it's still Hawksworth that's out there. Pitch misses outside. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Velasco will foul the pitch off. Still ahead in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. BeeJays, they'll return back to Brent Gould Field for one more game tomorrow night. It'll be the final game of the season for the BeeJays in a non-league contest between the BeeJays and the Dodge City A's. Pitch is called strike to Velasco, and it evens a count at 2. The A's, they have 2 games left in the regular season. They play the BeeJays tomorrow night, and then they take to the road again on Monday against the Hayes Larks. That'll be the final league game of the year and the final game overall before making the trip to the NBC World Series. Payoff pitch coming from Haynes as the count runs full. Haynes looking in. He's got his sign and comes set. Kicks and fires. Velasco fouls it off. Just gets a piece of it to send it back to the backstop. We'll do it over again. Seventh pitch of the at-bat for Velasco. As Haynes delivers, and it's low, 4-4. Velasco draws a walk, and the A's have a runner aboard. They now trail the game 5-3 after the BeeJays scored 3 in the top of the 7th. That brings up Matt Perez. Perez is 0 for 2. He flew out his last time up. Perez, a 440 on base percentage. He takes ball number 1. So Haynes has now gone 3 1/3 innings of relief for the Liberal BeeJays. Came in the 4th inning and shut the A's down. 2 balls and no strikes account to Perez. The A's have had opportunities. They had runners on 2nd and 3rd in the 4th. They had a runner on in the 5th and 7th. We've worked our way into the bottom of the 7th. 1 on and 1 away for the A's. We'll go back to work with the 2-0 pitch coming to Perez. Haynes misses outside, and Perez ahead in the count 3-0. So he can afford to take a pitch here. We'll see if he elects to even swing at anything. Pitch outside, and Perez, he'll draw the 4-pitch walk. That puts runners on 1st and 2nd. Still no indication of a mound visit from the BeeJays bullpen or dugout. And there it is. Here comes head coach Jared Maeda. We'll see if the BeeJays do elect to make the pitching change, and there's the call to the bullpen. So the night for Haynes is done. He'll go 3 1/3 innings officially of relief, and the BeeJays call to the bullpen. We'll tell you about the new pitcher when we come back. We'll take a step aside. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Kyle Hawksworth is taking over the mound for the Liberal BeeJays. Set to face off against Jaden Moreno. Hawksworth with 13 1/3 innings pitched. So Jaden Moreno draws a first pitch. He'll be hit by pitch, and that loads the bases for the Dodge City A's to bring up Paxton Huff. Huff 1 for 2 in the ball game. He got caught looking the last time he was up. Moreno on base now for the A's. He has a 466 on base percentage. Huff, 379 his on base percentage. He takes that first pitch for a ball. A's have bases loaded with one away, and they'd sure like to make something out of it here. Hawksworth a 10.12 ERA. Huff ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Pitch will catch the outer edge of the zone from the righty Hawksworth. Freshman from Mission University. Huff grounds that one foul to the left. Goes up the third base line. It evens a count at 2. The A's have Velasco at third, Perez at second, Moreno at first. Hawksworth looking in and has his sign. He'll come set. Works from the first base side of the rubber. Off the end of the bat by Huff. It's into foul territory. It'll fall in the BeeJays bullpen, and the count remains 2-2. Bottom of the 7th, the A's have bases loaded with one out, and they trail the BeeJays 5-3. BeeJays just made the call to the bullpen for Kyle Hawksworth. Off the end of the bat again, it's popped up. Ranging out into trouble. A diving catch by Hudson. For the second out of the inning, the A's still have bases loaded with 2 away. Hudson, a diving catch, trying to cut that one off and made it. Come ranging in hard from right. And that brings up Ryan Buckley. So the bases remain loaded for the Dodge City A's. And Buckley, he's 0 for 1. He got caught looking his last time up. Buckley, .412 on base percentage. Takes the first pitch for a ball. Hawksworth takes a look back at second. The pitch swung on and missed. Buckley evens a count at 1. One pitch. Hawksworth comes set. BeeJays have their infield back. The pitch gets away from the catcher. It's going to score a run, and the A's are within 1. They trail it 5-4. Hawksworth says, yeah, that's on me. He taps his chest. So the wild pitch, the A's score a run, and Buckley ahead in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. Perez now at third, Moreno at second. First base is open for the A's. 2-1 called strike. Deuces wild across the top of the scoreboard again. 2-2 pitch coming up. Hawksworth looking in. The delivery misses low, and the count runs full. A payoff pitch from Hawksworth. It's fired in. It's off the end of the bat. It's going off towards foul territory, and it will fall outside the fence. The count remains full. Buckley working to stay alive here. The A's would like to get more out of this, what used to be a bases loaded opportunity. The A's, they loaded the bases 5 times last night against the Liberal BeeJays. Didn't get much out of those opportunities either. Pitch called strike. Buckley will go down looking for the second time, and we're headed to the top of the 8th. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Larry Olivares is set to lead off here in the top of the 8th. The BeeJays lead it 5-4. The A's scored for the first time since the 3rd inning in the bottom of the 7th. So Olivares, he's at 1 for 3, grounded out the last time he was up. Takes a first pitch ball from Pinio. So the A's, they have Pinio back on the mound. He threw just 2 pitches to get out of the last half inning. He delivers a ball outside, and Olivares ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Pitch called strike. Olivares ahead in the count, 2-1. He has a .480 on-base percentage. Olivares takes another called strike, and it evens a count at 2. Two coming from Pinio. Standing on the third base side of the rubber and fires in. It's swung on and missed. Olivares goes down swinging for the first out. That brings up the catcher, David Garcia. It's 1 for 3 in the ball game. He flew out his last time up.
Now batting for the BeeJays, number 29, David Garcia.
Ryan Pinio on 18 1/3 innings pitched this year has allowed 34 runs on 26 hits and struck out 25. He's walked 17 and delivers a called strike to even the count at 1 to Garcia. Two-one pitch coming up. Pinio comes set. He'll deliver. Misses. Nope, it doesn't. It's called strike. Looked like it might have been high, but it evens a count at 2. That pitch misses high and inside. Garcia works a count full. Catcher, an 8-hole hitter for the Liberal BeeJays. The payoff pitch from Pinio misses outside, and he draws the walk. So 1 on and 1 away for the BeeJays, as that'll bring up the 9-hole hitter and JT Cox. He's grounded out all 3 times he has been at the plate. Cox, .456 on base percentage. Steps in with 1 runner on. The BeeJays clinging to a 5-4 lead. They've out-hit the Dodge City A's 8-4. So we've worked our way into the top of the 8th. The throw over to first, not in time. Both bullpens empty right now. So we're over the 2.5-hour mark in the ball game. One in the 3rd, 1 in the 5th, 3 in the 7th for the BeeJays. The pitch gets away from Velasco. It's 1 ball and no strikes to Cox. The A's, they scored 1 in the 1st, 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, 1 in the 7th. That is their 4 runs. They've stranded 9 runners versus the BeeJays 7. Cox swings it. It's headed out into the right center gap. Radcliffe there to pull it down. He's on the warning track, and that is the 2nd out of the inning. Radcliffe covered some ground to get to it, and he got there. 2 away for the BeeJays. As they turn the lineup over to Matt Bernath. Bernath 2 for 3 in the ball game. He tripled his last time up. Throw over to first, not in time. Bernath slugging 432 for the BeeJays. Throw to first again, and they did get him that time. Pinio with the pickoff, the 1-3 pickoff. It strands Bernath at home plate, and we're headed to the bottom of the 8th. It'll be the 8, 9, and 1 hole hitters for the Dodge City A's when we return. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Blake Coleman leading off for the A's as we've entered the bottom of the 8th. Hawksworth delivers a pitch outside for ball number 1. Coleman 0 for 1 in the ball game. He struck out the last time he was up. Has a .426 on base percentage and is ahead in the count 2-0. Hawksworth looking in. Hawksworth, the third pitcher for the Liberal BeeJays. Coleman grounds it to Bernath at short. They throw to first in time and the first out of the inning. As Coleman grounds out 6-3. That brings up Edwin Silverio. He's at 1 for 3 in the ball game. He struck out the last 2 times he's been at the plate. Got caught swinging the last time. So the A's with nobody on and 1 away in the bottom of the 8th. They trail 5-4. Silverio a .506 on base percentage. He takes the ball low. Works ahead in the count 1-0. Pitch misses low again from Hawksworth, and Silverio's ahead 2-0. Hawksworth throws in. It hits Silverio, so the A's have a runner aboard via the hit by pitch. And they turn the lineup over to Jacoby Radcliffe. Radcliffe, he's at 1 for 3. He flew out his last time up. Radcliffe with 9 extra base hits on the season. Set to face off against Hawksworth. One on and one away for the Dodge City A's. Throw over to first, not in time. Still awaiting the first pitch to Radcliffe. Hawksworth taking a long look at Silverio at first. The pitch misses outside, and a good block by Garcia. So he does the splits into the opposite batter's box. Throw over to first again, not in time. One-0 pitch. Silverio goes, and Radcliffe fouls it back. That evens the count at 1. One coming up from Hawksworth. The pitch is outside, and Radcliffe moves ahead in the count, 2 balls and 1 strike. Throw over to first again, not in time. Two-one pitch. Radcliffe makes contact. It's a high fly ball. Going to the wall and gone. It's a 2-run home run for Jacoby Radcliffe, and the A's have regained the lead 6-5. A high fly ball, and that does it to give the A's the lead. What a home run for Jacoby Radcliffe to give the A's the lead back in the bottom of the 8th. So after going scoreless in the 4th, 5th, and 6th, the A's have scored in back-to-back half innings now, and that will bring up Kane Carlos. He is 0 for 2. Carlos, he flew out his last time up. Both of his flyouts have been to Bernath at short. So Kane Carlos steps up with 6 extra base hits on the season. The A's have regained the lead. They are still out hit by the BeeJays 8-5. So 6 runs on 5 hits for the A's, 5 runs on 8 hits for the Liberal BeeJays. Carlos takes a first pitch ball. It's ahead in the count, 1-0. Carlos swings and comes up empty. He evens the count at 1. The A's beat the Liberal BeeJays back on July the 5th. They won that game 10-7. They dropped the game 13-8 on the 4th of July. Pitch is called strike to Carlos, and it evens a count at 2. Nobody on and 1 away for the A's. It was a 1-run home run, or a 1-out home run that gave the A's the lead. Pitch misses inside. The count runs full to Carlos. So we'll see the payoff pitch. Hawksworth has what he wants. The payoff pitch delivered, swung on and missed. Carlos goes down on strikes. That's 2 away for the Dodge City A's and brings up Isaiah Velasco. Velasco, he's 0 for 3. He drew a walk the last time he was up. Velasco steps on. He has 18 extra base hits on the season. 6 of them are home runs. So nobody on and 2 away now for the A's. Velasco takes a pitch well inside. He scoots back in the batter's box and is ahead 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Hawksworth set, delivers. Velasco swings and comes up empty. Evens a count at 1. The pitch grounded up the first base line, and it will be foul. Velasco finds himself down in the count 1-2 now with 2 away. Perez standing in the on-deck circle for the A's. Pitch. Hawksworth misses inside. Garcia lost the ball as it actually goes back towards the infield green turf. It evens a count at 2. The A's trying to hold on. They'll try to get 3 outs in the top of the 9th and close this one out. Claim victory over the BeeJays. Velasco pops that one up. It's up the elevator chute. Calling for it is Bernath, and he has it in shallow left field, and that will do it. We're headed to the top of the 9th. The A's trying to hold the BeeJays scoreless. We'll be back after this. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Top of the 9th. The A's looking for the final 3 outs of the ball game. The BeeJays, they have the top of the lineup due up here with Matt Bernath, Drew Grego, and Justin Hudson. Ryan Pineo returns to the mound for the Dodge City A's. They have a 6-5 lead. As Pineo delivers a pitch high for ball 1. Bernath tripled the last time he was up. He was actually up at the plate in the last half inning as runner was picked off. Works ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Count, 3 balls and 1 strike. Bernath fouls that one off, and the count runs full. So we'll see the payoff pitch from Pineo. He delivers in, and it's high, and Bernath draws the leadoff walk. Approaching the 3-hour mark here tonight. Bernath, he's scored 22 runs on the season for the Liberal BeeJays, and that brings up Drew Grego. Grego, he's 2 for 2. He's been hit by pitch the last 2 times he's been up. Almost hit by pitch again there, and pitch was high and inside for ball 1. Grego, he's scored 1 run. One-0 pitch. Pineo fires in. It's a strike. The throw down to second. Can't hold on to it. Runner in safely. Bernath over at second now for the Liberal BeeJays, and they have their runner in scoring position. Pitch was in for a strike. It evened the count at 1. Oh, now they say it's 2-0. Pineo delivers the 2-0 pitch. It's popped up. It's playable on the infield. Moreno backtracking in shallow right, and that is out number 1. Bernath stays at second, and that will bring up Justin Hudson. Hudson, he's 0 for 4. He flew out his last time up. So Hudson steps up. 1 on and 1 away for the BeeJays. Hudson with 1 home run. He has 16 RBIs. A throw down to third. Oh, he gets around the tag. Wow. Somehow Bernath got around the tag. The throw was there. Counts 0-1 to Hudson. 0-1 delivery coming. Pineo delivers. Grounded to Carlos at short. The throw to first in time. That's 2 away. So the BeeJays are down to their final out. They have a run, the tying run, just 90 feet away. That brings up Carson Willis. He hit the home run his last time up. Here comes a mound visit from head coach Jeremiah McCollum. So we'll take this opportunity. We'll thank our triple sponsors, Conant Construction LLC, Wild Pines Washes Dodge City LLC, Tommy's Car Wash, First Avenue Dental PA, ITC Great Plains LLC, Hinton Plumbing Service LLC, Medical Heights Dental Center PA, DC Appliance and Furniture, and Dodge City Eye Care. We thank you for your sponsorship and support of Dodge City A's baseball. So mound visit's over. We'll go to work. Carson Willis, who is 1 for 4 in the ball game, stepping up with 2 away and the tying run 90 feet away. Willis, he has 24 RBIs on the season. He's hit 4 home runs. We'll go to work. The A's need just 1 out to claim victory here tonight. The pitch, called strike, has Willis down in the count 0-1. The BeeJays are 16-17 on the season. They're looking to draw even here. The A's, with the win here tonight, would draw even at 17-17. Willis fouled the pitch off, and he's down in the count 0-2. Pineo comes set. Called strike 3. That does it. The A's claim it. Willis goes down on strikes, and the A's claim victory 6-5. We'll take a step aside. We'll come back in 2 minutes with your post-game wrap-up. You've been listening to Dodge City A's baseball. Welcome back in to Cavalier Field, and a special thank you to all of our fans that followed along on 1270 KSCB back in Liberal. We thank you for following along tonight as the A's claim victory at home for the final game of the season. They win it 6-5 over the Liberal BeeJays. The A's, let's start with the BeeJays. They scored 1 in the third, 1 in the fifth, 3 in the seventh, 5 runs, 8 hits, no errors. They strand 8. The A's, they score 1 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the seventh, and 2 in the eighth. 6 runs, 5 hits, no errors. They strand 9. Ryan Pineo will pick up the win on the mound tonight for the Dodge City A's. Kyle Hawksworth, he takes the loss for the Liberal BeeJays. Let's take a look at the scoring summary for the Dodge City A's. The A's, they got a runner on in Jacoby Radcliffe in the first as he singled, and he would come around and score on a wild pitch during the Isaiah Velasco at bat. The A's would get their leadoff again on board again in the second as Paxton Huff drew a walk. He would come around and score on an RBI single from Edwin Silverio. Again in the third, Matt Perez would get on a walk. He comes around and scores during the Jaden Marino at bat as he singled and drove a run in. The A's, they would be held scoreless until the seventh when Isaiah Velasco would again draw a walk, and he would come around and score on a wild pitch during Ryan Buckley's at bat. Then in the eighth, the A's, they would get the decisive run in as Edwin Silverio, he would be hit by pitch, and he would be brought home on a monster home run. It was a 2-run shot over the right field wall by Jacoby Radcliffe. It guaranteed the victory for the Dodge City A's as they win it 6-5 over the Liberal BeeJays. The BeeJays, Matt Bernath scores 3 of their 5 runs for them as he, in the leadoff spot, singled, drew a walk, and tripled and scored on all 3 of those. That'll wrap it up for tonight as the A's, they top the BeeJays 6-5. The A's are back on the road tomorrow night as the BeeJays return home for their final game of the season. It's a non-league contest between the A's and BeeJays. I am Justin Hergert, was alongside for tonight's call, and we appreciate everybody back in Liberal listening along. am Justin Hergert, was assisted by Amory Macias, and thank you to the studio engineer back in Liberal as well. For the entire A's board and organization, we thank you for following along. That'll wrap it up tonight. You have been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball.